Welcome back. You're still watching Nile TV International, and this special edition regarding the visit of Foreign Minister Dr. Badr Abdulati, who took part in a ministerial meeting of the Arab Islamic Contact Group on Gaza in Slovenia. And I'm honored to be having with me over the phone from Russia Dr. Marko Musad, researcher at the Middle East Council for Politics, to be shedding more light on this important visit of the Foreign Minister of Egypt to Slovenia. Dr. Marko Musad, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Dr. Marko, how do you see the importance of the visit of the Egyptian Foreign Minister Dr. Badr Abdulati to Slovenia, and of course with a specific focus on the efforts of Egypt to be... Dr. Marko, can you hear me? So we have lost Dr. Marko Musad temporarily, as we have seen today Foreign Minister Dr. Badr Abdulati took part in a ministerial meeting of the Arab Islamic Contact Group on Gaza in Slovenia. Addressing the meeting, the Foreign Minister reiterated Egypt's firm stance regarding the Palestinian cause and the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people, the forefront of which is having an independent state. The Foreign Minister affirmed Egypt's absolute rejection of any attempts to divide the Palestinian territories on the geographical or the demographical basis. Egypt's top diplomat also stressed the necessity of moving ahead with the implementation of the second phase of the U.S. brokered peace plan for Gaza, hailing the U.S. President Donald Trump's role in ending the war and restoring regional stability. And still with the activities of Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati, reiterated today Egypt's firm stance, which calls for the continuation of the political efforts which aimed at reaching peaceful settlements to the crises through dialogue and diplomatic means in order to preserve the regional and the international stability and security. This came during a phone call between the Foreign Minister and his Ukrainian counterpart, Andrei Sybiha, to discuss ways of promoting bilateral relations, as well as the latest developments in the Ukrainian crisis. The Foreign Minister stressed Egypt's keenness on hosting the Global Center for Storing, Supplying and Trading Grains, which would ensure the strengthening of food security and the related supply chains. And in a separate phone call with the British Secretary of State for the Foreign, Commonwealth and the Development Affairs, Yvette Cooper, Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati stressed the importance of supporting the National Committee governing Gaza. Egypt's top diplomat also called for the quick deployment of an international stabilization force designated to monitor the ceasefire deal, the access of the humanitarian aid into the Strip, and to ensure the Israeli withdrawal from it. The minister also asserted the necessity of finding a political solution to the Palestinian cause to meet the Palestinian aspirations in the establishment of their independent state. On another front, Egypt expressed its complete support for the ongoing Iran-US negotiations, which are held in the Omani capital, Muscat. A foreign ministry statement said that the peaceful efforts should be focused on the mutual respect and the good intention to reach a sustainable deal to the Iranian crisis in the near future, which would help avoid the escalation. The statement said that Egypt sees negotiations as the best means to fulfill the interests and the requirements of all the concerned parties. And still focusing in this special edition coming your way from Nile TV International, regarding the Foreign Minister, Dr. Badr Abdulati, who took part in the ministerial meeting, as we did see today, of the Arab Islamic Contact Group on Gaza in Slovenia. Addressing the meeting, the Foreign Minister reiterated Egypt's firm stance regarding the Palestinian cause and the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people, the forefront of which is having an independent state. The Foreign Minister affirmed Egypt's absolute rejection of any attempts to divide the Palestinian territories on the geographical or demographical basis. Egypt's top diplomat also stressed the necessity of moving ahead with the implementation of the second phase of the U.S. brokered peace plan for Gaza, hailing the U.S. President Donald Trump's role in ending the war and restoring regional stability. Meanwhile, Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati also reiterated Egypt's firm stance, which calls for the continuation of the political efforts which aimed at reaching peaceful settlements to the crisis through dialogue and diplomatic means in order to preserve the regional and international stability and security. And I am honored to be having with me over the phone Mr. Ahmed Maharim, the political analyst from New York. Mr. Ahmed, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much for being with us tonight on Nile TV International. First of all, how do you see the efforts of Egypt to be alleviating the suffering of the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, more specifically, and more recently today, the trip of Foreign Minister Dr. Badr Abdulati to Slovenia to be having or taking part in the contact group on Gaza, the importance of having the second phase of the ceasefire deal being implemented as soon as possible. How do you see the efforts of Egypt throughout the whole process?
Well, it's not only me. It's the global and the people around us here in New York in the United Nations. Usually they look for the efforts was done and is still carrying on by the Egyptian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Egyptian diplomacy, and the presidential efforts from Egypt. I think everybody is talking about Egypt. It could be the only country has all the segments and all the tools to deal with all the parties in order to achieve a very successful negotiation to present on the platform the benefit of the Palestinians in order how they can return back to their land. And because of the relation between Egypt and Israel and the other participants in the country, Egyptian diplomacy, I think, has a very well recognized impact in order to achieve the benefit of every part in the world.
Yes, and one benefit that the Egyptian state is trying to be getting for the Palestinian state is an independent country, according to the directives of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the statements of Foreign Minister Dr. Badr Abdulati that one of the main targets for Egypt is for Palestine to be having its independent state with East Jerusalem as its capital and the borders of 1967. How close are we for Palestine to be having its own independent state?
Well, I think for the last 2 years or more, maybe since the 7th of October 23, when the conflict started between the Palestinians and the Israelis, Egypt has done a tremendous effort in order to facilitate, explain, engage. So many occasions, I think Egyptian diplomacy have shown to the international world how important the historical part of Palestine. We are in Egypt. I mean, support all the diplomats negotiation, support all the humanitarian assistance to Gaza Strip, and whatever happened from Israeli government in order to penalize and give hard time or harsh time to the Palestinians. I think Egypt and President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi personally, they were strongly enough, denied all the dreams of the Israeli in order to kick out those Palestinians to go out of the country. I think it was very well recognized, admired by most of the people around the world, and I think in the future it will show exactly what was the effort of Egypt in order to facilitate all the problems.
Yes, Mr. Ahmed, the foreign minister affirmed Egypt's absolute rejection of any attempts to divide the Palestinian territories on the geographical nor the demographical basis. How do you see this principle that Egypt has stuck to ever since the aggression began by the Israeli occupation forces against the innocent Palestinians in the Gaza Strip?
Well, I think we would like to thank everybody who has done a good effort in that regard in the region and internationally, but Egypt is still, because of the geographical positions, Gaza and Palestinians are very close to the Egyptian in so many ways. And I think the most close country to understand the needs and efforts of the Palestinians in order to restore their land and to come back to their land some time ago, I think Egyptians have done a very, very successful negotiation and a very influenced part in that kind of development.
Yes, and the necessity of implementing the second phase of the Gaza ceasefire deal that took place and that was signed here in Sharm el-Sheikh under the chairmanship of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the U.S. President Donald Trump. How do you see the importance of entering into the second phase and implementing it on the ground for the benefit of the Palestinians?
Well, this is a very good question, I think, and a very serious question as well. I think, to be honest, the conference was taking place in Sharm el-Sheikh in October 2025, was having a very big hope that things will be in the better way. What happened is not only Egypt, some other lead country in the region are together would like to guarantee that the phase one or phase two has to be applied perfectly according to what was agreed to. Israel is still doing so many troubles to open the gate between Gaza and Egypt, Rafah gate, for the last few days. They still have some kind of unclear mission from the Israelis. They're giving hard time to the people. They have to leave to go for medical treatment in Egypt, or they have to come back to their own country. I think Egypt, with Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey, I think they have done a kind of segment. What Israel is doing is not exactly what was agreed on for last October in Sharm el-Sheikh.
Yes, Mr. Ahmed, we have seen today Foreign Minister Dr. Badr Abdul Ati conducting a number of phone calls with his counterparts from Ukraine and the United Kingdom as well, and to be focusing on the statements that were released by the Foreign Minister of Egypt during the phone call that took place between him and his counterpart from the United Kingdom, Yvette Cooper. They mentioned the importance of supporting the National Committee governing Gaza. How do you see the importance of having a technocratic government for Gaza nowadays, and how to be supporting it?
I think Egypt diplomacy has tried in different means, in different geographically around the world, to assume or to guarantee that everybody has to be involved, especially with those countries on the European country are they are one of those 5 important countries in the United Nations as a General Assembly and as Security Council as well. The effort Egypt is doing is trying to involve all those capacities in order to have a kind of push to the Israeli government to change their attitude towards the future, because the Palestinians have really suffered a lot for the last 2 years.
Yes, and finally, Mr. Ahmed Maharim, the importance of the quick deployment of an international stabilization force. How do you see the importance of having such a force on the ground in the Gaza Strip?
Well, unfortunately, to be honest, the Gaza problem started 2 years ago and is still going on the third one. The international community is so busy in so many other things around the world, between the big bodies, Iran, America, Russia, China, European countries, the NATO. So there is so many involvements We would like and hope that because of all this kind of interest and the involvement, the Palestinian problem with Israeli is not going to be left. It has to be come on the top. And that's what the Egyptian government and Egyptian diplomacy are trying to do from day to day.
Yes, Mr. Ahmed Maharim, the political analyst from New York, thank you very much for being with us tonight on Nile TV International and this special edition.